My dear sisters and brothers in Christ, the gospel is good news, the good news about Jesus Christ. So when we read and reflect on the gospel, we are invited to get to know Jesus and to strengthen our faith in Him. So the focus of gospel reading is always Jesus. So our today readings is also focusing on Jesus. Jesus visits Lazarus' home, receiving a special treatment, a special welcome from this family, which is quote-unquote close friend of Jesus. And Mary gave a very special welcoming to Jesus. However, Judas views it differently. If we read carefully, actually, both Judas and Mary give Jesus, quote-unquote, a kind of love, but different. Let us read more deeply. Judas measures everything by money. So where Mary anoints Jesus' feet with expensive perfume, Judas said, "Why was this oil not sold for 300 days' wages and given to the poor?" John, in the Gospel, clarifies the motivation behind what Judas said. He said this not because he cared about the poor, but because he was a thief and held the money back and used to steal the contributions. So the motivation is not really love, but his own interest, that he sometimes took from the money contribution for himself. In contrast, Mary anoints Jesus' feet as a sign of love and respect. Jesus explained the significance of her actions, saying, "Let her keep this for the day of my burial." Let her alone. Leave her alone. Let Mary do what she wants to do, which is loving Jesus and respecting Jesus. What a different love. One from the egoistic motivation, the other from love and respect. So what can we learn from Mary's actions to Jesus? Her actions are noble and meaningful, at least in two ways. The first one is that true love is revealed in valuable actions. Mary pours expensive perfume and reminds everyone of Jesus' love and sacrifice. Mary can see clearly Jesus' love and sacrifice, and love will be returned by love, will be rewarded by love. So if we love Jesus, we will also receive love from Him. So this emphasizes that Jesus' love is unparalleled and unseen by the world's eyes. Mary gives us a real example how to see Jesus' sacrifice as a real and genuine love for us and for the whole world. Second, Mary deeply loved Jesus. The value of her love is beyond ordinary eyes. Judas failed to see the eyes of Mary, the eyes of love of Mary. It is not the same as Judas, whose passion for money causes his eyes to become blind. Many people become blind of love because of money. Money and money that sometimes creates quarrel, even war in our lives, in our world. So this challenges every follower of Jesus to reflect on the depth of their love for Jesus. We can ask ourselves, To what extent our love to Jesus? Is it egoistic love for our own interests? Because we need something, then we try to love Jesus, pretending that we love Jesus? My dear sisters and brothers, in this context, Jesus also says, the poor you will always have with you, but you will not always have me. What does it mean? While we cannot anoint Jesus' feet with perfume, we can still love Him by caring for the poor, by caring and loving, taking care of the poor. Jesus says, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers of mine, you did for me. The poor, my dear sisters and brothers, are like Jesus' feet, which we can wash with the oil of love and compassion. In a world marked by individualism and exploitation of the weak and poor, today's gospel's message is powerful counterculture, that we need to love others, especially those who are poor, marginalized, and weak. We will be the real and true disciples of Jesus if we carry out what Jesus tells to Judas and Mary. Will we dare to wash Jesus' feet, represented in the poor, the weak, and marginalized? This act may go unappreciated in this individualistic world, but blessed are those who see Jesus with the eyes of love, especially among the poor, the weak, and marginalized.